Alright, good evening everyone. This is Town Sheldon Selectboard and Water Commission meeting for Monday, July 28th of 2025. Agenda for this evening under new business, we have a paperwork in front of us to set the tax rate for this year. Got a highway department report, roadway and parking lot painting quote, traffic calming measures, town clerk and treasurer update, town administrator's report. We need to look at appointing an animal control officer and possibly a road commissioner. Sign and approve minutes from July 14th. Payroll warrant 2527, accounts payable warrant 31699. A couple excess weight permits to sign. Old business, we got the Mill Street Sewer Project update, we got the Salt Shed Project update, and the Hazard Mitigation Plan closeout contract amendment. Anything else we need to add? Alright, we'll get right on with it. We'll start with Highway Department report. How's things going?
We've been pouring concrete today.
They put walls up there? They did?
Had a little bit of a blowout. One of the wires broke on the board, and one of the back boards broke on the back wall and lost like a load on the ground. So I had to, lucky I was right there and I had to help him with the backhoe and do some bailing. But we got it repaired and finished by 3 o'clock-ish.
The outside of the back wall or the inside?
The outside of the back wall, so yeah.
Oh, that's good.
So we can, I'm assuming they'll strip the forms like in the next few days and we can start doing landscaping and backfilling around.
Yep.
I've never seen that.
They said it only happens like once a year.
Yeah.
Of course, it's Monday today, so. It wasn't too
Who was
fun.
on the crew?
Some guys that I don't know, but they know what they're doing.
So,
They were the coffee drinking guys.
Yeah, a lot of work.
they were like,
Yeah.
the load, they lost several yards.
Yeah, how much, but
What'd you do with that?
they kind of just bailed it out of the way. It's probably going to be a boat anchor.
Yeah.
We'll have to do something on that, but
You didn't lug it over and make a nice pad somewhere to put your wells on?
I would have if I would have had a good access area, but time was of the essence.
Just flattened it out behind you or something?
Yeah, well, take care of it.
Or whatever. It wasn't planned then. That was exciting.
Yeah. The 2018 truck went to Valencourt Transport for brake work inspection, and I think that bill's pretty steep with the I don't know what the actual bill is yet, but for the parts list they put into it, new drums pads on the rear axle and wheel seals, slack adjusters. Yeah, a few parts. It was up in the $3,000 range, less I know, but it's a safety issue, so it doesn't matter, I guess.
Oh,
Did they come for the backhoe again last week?
Yeah, so John Reed came and finally fixed the AC problem. The radiator had like a little small pinhole in it, it was leaking. So they put new lines and a dryer on it, and that new radiator. And there was a
condenser?
yeah, and then there was a module that converted from heat to AC. It was underneath the whole dash cluster, and so they didn't know if that was the problem, but it was like $100 part, so they wanted to fix it and make sure it worked. So
Yeah.
So I don't know how much of that bill we have to actually pay after the third attempt, but I'm sure it's right up there as well.
You know, been a couple times,
Yeah,
spin the dial,
yeah,
you know, if it's this, and then spin
Right,
the dial,
basically.
put this on, and spin the dial,
Yeah.
put that on.
exactly.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, the road guy doesn't really have control of the AC machine that they have at the shop, so.
Oh,
Tom came and looked at the grader, and we tightened up like 3 oil pan bolts that were a little on the loose side. And he looked at the steering and really couldn't do anything with it because he didn't have the time for one and time to spend at working at it. So basically, he said to call Cat. So we're trying to get them to get a quote together, but they don't really know either because they don't know what's kind of malfunctioning in there to make a quote for you know,
what's it
because there's
doing?
so much stuff. The steering kind of just like shakes back and forth. There's like 3 different set points where you can set it on your lap.
Oh, you're talking about the column
Yeah, the
set
column, yeah,
with
the
the vice
column.
grips.
Yeah, you saw that.
What's wrong with the vice grips?
As long as you don't stop fast, nothing.
So there's actually, it's not the actual steering. You're talking about
Yeah.
the column.
Yeah, the column adjustment. Yeah. Then you can take that side plate off and dig in there, and no one really know until they actually tear it apart. So I guess it's all.
There must be a lever in there with a cog or with
Yeah.
something that goes into a gear.
Exactly. That's probably what it is.
Yeah.
I don't know if
Just
I
hasn't been
don't know if I want to dig into it or not. I ordered another load of chloride, so I'll make 15,000 gallons this year. It'll make 18,000 altogether because we had 2 left over. So that should finish us off for this year. Duffy needs it and Cattell Road needs it. Again, it's not terrible as far as potholes go, but it's getting on the dusty side. As soon as the weather's right. Get back up there.
You did a driveway culvert over there on myself.
Yeah. Did the driveway culverts and ditching up. There's some small ditching just around on the residence yard.
Did you hear back from Joe on that when they plan on doing the pavement?
Yeah, I spoke with him. He said that we're scheduled for the Sheldon scheduled for the mid-September for paving. So did we have that contract?
Yeah,
I signed it.
Yeah, Steve signed it for us.
I did last week.
We got a lockout tie-up box for the office and new fridge, new microwave. And we're gonna give her a paint job and do some refurbishing in there as soon as we get like a rainy day, if it's gonna be a rainy day project, and we'll hang everything up. So we'll do again. Whiteboard.
It'll be a good hot day project too.
Yeah, true. And it's pretty hot in that garage,
Yeah.
but being dry good. We've just been keeping up with the lawns and cemeteries. Seems like it's never ending this year. Though.
Yeah, that's it.
Just
Just
not
seemed
rain
to grow
keep
this
going.
year. Eating water.
Hubert was waiting for a quote on the Hill Road project for boring across Bridge Street. I know there's only a few outfits that actually do that. I could probably get 3 quotes, but as long as we keep it under, $3,000, it should be all right. We already kind of know who the cheapest guy is out there. He's over the mountain. He was supposed to show up on site to look at the job and pretty much give us a quote. Kind of waiting on him, and then we get started on that.
You've already put the pipe in the ground.
Yeah.
For the rest of the way.
I guess we could hook up the other end. There's a few connections we could still do over there. We have to put in a blow off. So there's a few days of work before we we're ready to part of the road.
When are you thinking you get to cutting the shoulders there on Bedard where the water's running down?
Yeah, we're usually on most like general high traffic dirt roads. I kind of like to do it in the fall when it kind of the dust kind of settles out and rains some more, but it makes a dust storm. But like on your road, we could probably do it anytime.
I mean, if you did the ditching, you could put that as fill up top to make it
Yeah.
a little more level for the backing around.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just sand anyway, right? For the most part, yeah. I know Hunter's, he has 2 more days left and he's gonna be gone for a few days, so it might be like the following week.
Are you working on that turnaround down there? No?
Mm-mm.
Still deciphering kind of what we need to do for her.
Try the simpler solution first. Just make it a lot, I mean, just
Yeah.
put the fill up there and maybe it'll make it
Widen the
easier.
road
I don't
out.
know.
Yeah, widen the road out.
Get that culvert over on Sheldon, when I'm doing that next week, is it?
Yeah, possibly Wednesday this week. It all depends what the schedule is for the excavator. If we don't do it Wednesday, we'll have to do it next week.
How far does that go past the side of the road there?
It's just right on the,
That's right in there.
yeah, see if there was a white
I
line.
just drove by quick.
Yeah, if there was a white line, it'd be like right on the white line. It's just,
The sinkhole.
yeah.
But how far does the culvert go past it? Quite a ways.
Not far.
Maybe
It's all, yeah.
comes out maybe 3 feet off the pavement.
Yeah.
Kind of very far.
So we'll saw cut it and tamp it, and probably at the end of the day, we'll hopefully get a coat of hot mix on it.
Yeah.
But I figured the best way is to just close the road down and knock it out.
Yeah.
We'll let morning traffic go through.
Where is it?
Shawville, right there. I just passed the bridge just up between there and the sharp corner,
Oh,
just past the hydro entrance.
there's a boulder right there, right?
Yeah, there's
Before
huge rock, yeah. I don't think there's that much water that goes through that culvert, because there's another one just up a little ways farther by the corner, but it's there for a reason, but
Okay.
So they'll be stripping the forest tomorrow.
I believe so. It all depends how long they like to let them set, maybe 2 days.
Yeah, that's good.
Depends what they're doing tomorrow.
Yeah.
You had some guys in mind for doing the construction.
Yeah, that's the next thing. Probably the trusses are going to be like a month out, I'm guessing, if you were running through sticks or whatever. I think it's an outfit out in New York that kind of makes all of them, so usually they're a month out, so we kind of got to get going on figuring out the size of length we need.
Yeah.
I have a few framers in mind that would give a quote. I've left messages with a few of them, which they haven't heard back.
How wide are those chloride tanks? If we did an overhang on that,
Yeah, they're
is it 6 foot, 5 foot?
yeah, a little more than that. I'd say they're closer to 10. A good size, they're 3,000 gallon tanks.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh, come out, an overhang.
Stick those out there under, but if they're 10 footers, I don't know if you want a 12 foot overhang.
Basically, have the overhang toward the neighboring property.
You got room over there?
There's about 15 feet between there and the property lines.
There's setbacks we need to be concerned about?
It's in the village zone, so I forget if the setback is 10 feet or 5 feet.
I think you said 10 feet,
I think it's 10.
in the village is different than that.
I'm sure there's other stuff we can fit in between there. not the chloride tanks, but I'm sure there's other things we can still work in that area. if we have to.
Yeah.
I don't know if we can get
Yeah.
different tanks too.
Yeah, I mean, those work pretty good for what we use it for. If it's one 5,000 gallon little fits, you know, and you have 1,000 gallon to play with, so.
Yeah.
You got it inside the shed now?
Yeah, they're by the grader inside, which works good. It keeps them out of the sun.
Yeah.
It works good in the winter too because we use the mix. That way we can just turn the lights on and see what we're doing, you know.
Yeah. Freeing up some room in there, but
There's power at the pump there, right?
Yeah.
So you couldn't run power down to our little salt shed.
Yeah, you could, yeah, easy enough.
And you could just put a tank right beside it there somewhere.
Yeah.
Doesn't have to be inside.
Right.
Yeah, really, you just pump it out.
Yeah. I mean, we use a gas pump now, so in all reality, we don't even need power. But we use a gas pump to pump it out of.
No,
Yeah, tap lights and whatnot.
but it'd be nice to run underground wire from where the pump is, at least put a light bulb in that shed,
Yeah.
in the salt shed,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Is there an outlet out there at the gas, at the fuel station,
There's not.
such as, there's one now? Yeah, there's a wire there.
Yeah.
I assume it's, well, you need 15, 20, you need 20 amps, 15, 20 amps in that.
Yeah.
Light and salt. Any conversations with anybody about fence on?
Yeah, I reached out to Lafayette and
Their response?
I haven't gotten anything yet, but
No response?
I just sent it out last week, so
Yes.
but I asked them to quote for a fence that would come off the garage and go across the yard. I asked them to try to give us the biggest gate they could there. And then from there it would go along the east side of the property down to the salt shed and just stop at the salt shed. But then I also asked them to quote what if we fenced the whole
Right?
thing, so they should give you a couple options there. I just said, you know, the way that you get to that property off the road, we want the gate to be as wide as we could, just because
Yeah.
obviously you want the gate to be, you don't want it to just fall over.
No. No. Put a fence around the whole thing. No way there.
And I said, I figured an 8-foot fence, something like that. Standard commercial kind of fence, I guess.
Yeah.
probably don't need razor wire on top.
Yeah, right, yeah.
Someday we will. Way things rolling.
I believe we have a little more money left over on the guardrails as well.
Yes.
So I just spoke with Lafayette's and was hoping maybe later this fall. Usually the towns are last on the list. Maybe we'll get the guardrails set back on it'd be Pleasant Street.
Yeah.
That way it'd be a little easier to plow and meet bigger truck traffic and whatnot.
You got enough.
Yeah, and have a shoulder right there, and we could put some, stone down.
You got enough room to move the whole guardrail?
Yeah, move the whole guardrail like for a fee, whatever it takes, to
Yeah.
Come down, look at the cement.
Yeah.
Hunter's on vacation next week. Hubert's on vacation. next
Hubert's
week.
on vacation this week.
Oh, this week?
Yeah, he's-
Oh, I thought they were both gonna be on the same
I
time.
think Hunter's taking a couple of days.
Yeah.
This week.
I'll be doing the water and sewer readings this weekend.
And I think you was back next week.
Yeah, it was gonna be about 2 weeks a week. Oh, yeah.
Matt reached out to me about, he's asked me before, but he reminded me that he'd be interested in taking the wastewater class this fall. So I said, we couldn't sign up for that. It's the end of September or some time frame.
Did he, finish his welding class?
He did do the welding class. So he seemed to enjoy that. I know they offer, there's like 3 levels of welding class. That was the introductory one. And they've got some other ones, but like I said, well, before you do the other ones, if you want to do the wastewater course, then do that first. It'd be nice if they offer. I think part of it's that they use the technical center in St. Albans, so they can't offer those. It'd be nice if they offered the classes in the winter when we have more downtime, but they don't have the classroom space for this.
Yeah.
I guess they could do it during Christmas, but I don't think anybody wants to do that. So.
Alright, anything else?
So, I'm not sure today.
I just want to mention about Seth's here, I talked to him a little bit about it. I did get a call at the end of last week, I guess somebody, we did when the highway did that culvert down on Nice Hill, I guess somebody drove through there and claimed they cut the tire on some material that was in the road, so I just forwarded that to our insurance company to see what to do about that. But, yeah, I just wanted to let you guys know about that.
What'd you use for film?
I don't know, I went and drove up and there were a few rocks in the road, but nothing, more than,
What road was that on?
on Rice Hill Road. So, it probably went fast, but.
Okay.
Alright.
Sounds good.
We're good? Yep, thank you.
Oh, Seth, I don't know if you wanted to share your opinion on any of these, speed bump, options we have, or?
Yeah, I mean, whatever the best what we think is.
Where are they?
The agenda, but I do have a couple of different options there. Pretty much the same products.
Was that about the speed bumps?
Yes.
I thought they told me Wednesday that you had ordered
Right,
them and
so-
that we were waiting for them.
So I called them and they said they needed to special order them. And so I said, okay, go ahead and do that, send me the information about them when you get it. But they didn't have a quote for the price for me, so I said, okay, get a hold of the supplier and get it. And then they sent me the quote and I said, okay, hold on, I wanted to show this to the select board.
Okay, so when you told me you ordered them initially on the, that you brought to me.
You could put it that way, Nancy, but I may have misspoke with saying that, yes, but I was not trying to lie to you about that. I was just saying that I called them and they said, well, we have to special order. And I said, okay, go ahead and do that and let me know how much
How long
it'll
did you
be.
have this from when I asked you Wednesday to your face that you had them ordered and you said, yes, Nancy, I had them ordered, and I asked you again and you said
I
yes.
got the quote from them the end of last week, I think.
So,
Yeah,
why didn't you
Right.
tell me on Wednesday, that's usually.
I should have
what-
said that, yes, you're right, I should have said that, I'm sorry. But I wanted to put it in front of the select board because I don't really have the authority to spend this kind of money.
Well, you could
without-
have told me that, Matt,
Okay.
instead of lying to my
Okay.
face. And that's
Fair
why I'm here, I wanted to know about when they were coming in, because Matt told me they were coming, I expected them in at least like 7 days, and it was longer than that. So I was just checking on them, since we just had an accident over here on the corner from people driving too fast. So that's why I came up tonight, was to check on the speed bump situation, to see when they were coming up, and then when I get up here, they haven't even been ordered yet.
Well, I don't know if we've actually come to a consensus over where we're putting them or what we're putting or anything. We're still trying to figure this
That
all
doesn't
out.
cost a factor on his life.
I mean, they could,
I mean, I understand that it has to be approved, but it doesn't.
Yeah,
Alright, I'm sorry about that, Nancy, and I understand how you feel about that, and you're right, I should have been more completely honest with you about what the situation was.
so what's the difference here on these three?
So that is the original quote that we got from the one you have in your right hand, the one that we got from, that's from the people down in the area that we usually order the signs from.
Okay,
That was that was the first quote we got, which was for the speed humps, which are the ones that they have in Enosburg on Orchard Street. And as you can see, they come in sections. We have to order about 12 of them to go across the roadway, and they all require a lot of hardware to put in. And those are really designed to be more like a 15-mile-an-hour solution, which is better than the speed bumps that we have, that we used to put on School Street. But then I got a hold of them and I said, you guys sell these speed cushions, which is more like, imagine an 8-foot mat, which is longer, and so it's a more gradual bump. So it's not as an abrupt change in
Right,
speed.
for like a higher speed.
So the cars go by at a higher speed, but it's
Yeah.
also less wear and tear on the vehicle. And they come in sections so that you can spread them across the roadway so that ambulances and fire trucks can go through the center lanes without going over the humps at all. So they had to get a special quote for me for that because they don't keep that. The speed humps they keep in the warehouse down there, and we could just order them and they would send them.
Right.
The cushions, they had to special order them, and send away for the pricing.
So I guess it depends on where we want to actually put them to determine the speed rating, if you will, of the bump to
Right.
know.
Now, the cushion package, I asked just for a 3 cushion package just to find out how much it would be to just install one set of them across the road. And so
Right.
in both companies I found it was around $2,700 to do that for just one set. And also, which comes with a lot of hardware. So basically each mat has something like 40 bolts that have to go in to hold it into the road. And then technically you're supposed to put an adhesive on the road too, and then you can take it up. They are reusable over time, but you kind of turn the road into Swiss cheese by doing this. So
Are there ones that have to be like taken out for winter?
right,
kind of
so you
things,
would
or
be
plow,
taking
I would
out, so you would
assume?
take them off the road until you get the snow plow.
Right.
Now, the other thing we could do is just order some asphalt from, go down Pike and get some asphalt, build them out of asphalt. But those are, you're spending, that would be a cheaper option, but it's less, you can't reuse those, you would just dig it up at the end of the year and
Right.
throw the asphalt away and that.
And then did you check as far as what our legal responsibility?
So
Nick had talked about that.
Nancy worked with me on and got a hold of the people
Okay.
in Enosburg. You don't have to there's no,
Warning or,
you just have to put up signage.
right,
So warning ahead of time that there are speed bumps ahead. And we did get prices for those from our local supplier as well. So as long as you're warning people in advance of going to the speed bumps, there's no reason you have to publish any of
right, and then you're not making them go like below the speed limit, we're essentially trying to make it so they're not driving by at 50 miles an hour.
Yeah,
Yeah,
right.
so if
So-
that's,
You have
This is
one
good.
speed bump?
We have 3 of the smaller speed bumps that are about this wide that we used to put on School Street.
What's wrong with that?
Well, they're really designed for like 5-mile-an-hour traffic. They're for like
yeah,
parking
I don't think we
lots.
can get people to slow down that far.
And the other thing is that they're pretty.
Maybe after they hit it, I don't know.
Well, that's true, but that's the legal part of it, is like, I would assume we're responsible for damage to cars, although there's not really much proof
Yeah.
that they were going 5 miles
if you've got it
versus,
properly signed, you shouldn't be responsible for that.
No, when I called Enosburg, the guy told me that you don't have to warn anything, you're just gonna put your signs up. He said for the first month, they got a lot of complaints because people didn't like them.
right,
But if they were doing the speed limit, it wouldn't bother them. they've had one complaint that somebody called and said that they did damage to their car, and the guy said, did you see the signs that the speed bumps were ahead? And the guy said, no, he said, maybe you need to just pay attention to your signs. And he said, we've never paid anything out, it's not our responsibility as long as the signs are up, no matter what happens.
Right.
But those are pretty aggressive, you can't do the speed limit over those. I've been over them,
Yeah.
even in a truck, you can't do the
No.
speed limit over them.
No,
Not if you want to sit in the seat.
no.
Well, you should probably order some of those offering bumps there. I would put the speed bump up by Patel. Cause if you're talking about coming down into the village from on Pleasant, or East Sheldon Road, or turns into Pleasant Street. And you're coming off a 50-mile-an-hour speed limit, and you just drift into town.
You're coming from a 50 to a 35 to a 25
Correct.
into town.
Right, but you drift down there, and the
Yeah.
cart's all downhill. And unless, so if you, and the vehicle just takes on a life of its own down through there, okay?
You as the driver are responsibility.
Half the problem with that,
Yeah.
coming down through there, is well, it starts
And the
35 way too soon.
But the
And
other
then people
problem,
get sick of trying to drive 35 down through them, before they know it, they're doing 40 down the hill, like you said.
It
It shouldn't be 35 till you get down into the village.
the lay of the
That
pole
isn't-
lends it, it's easy for the vehicle to just keep galloping along.
you're
So-
responsible for your vehicle. But the
Oh,
other
I
point
understand
is,
that. I
but when they
understand.
come from Diane Crane's too, you can hear them, they step on it, they fly by the house. So as soon as they go around that corner, they're freaking flying, and they're going on the wrong side of the road on the corner. Somebody's gonna get hit.
So, there should be a bump down there on the, one side of the road coming up through, so that calms traffic. But if you put a speed bump up there by yourself, if you slow down to go over it, you're not gonna speed back up to come back down into the village. That would be my take on that. To put a speed bump in the hill,
Yeah,
But you have to place them a certain way because there's a corner there on that hill.
but up by
So
the,
there's certain ways that
up
you'll
by the
have
old,
to
up by
go
the,
down.
as you go behind the Cattell farm, if there was a speed bump right there, it would take that 35 and turn it into a 25.
Right,
And the likelihood of the traffic to pick back up to 50 at the bottom of the hill.
I don't believe you can place it on that corner anyways, I think there's rules and regulations that it
That's
can't
right.
go there, so.
Has to be up
The
there.
corner going down the hill isn't the issue. It's like from after you come down the hill, or before Diane Crane's, in between that flat stretch. And they do fly by Maria's, but, you know, up, like you said, by the Cattell, put one there to start slowing them
That
down,
hill generates that speed.
so.
That hill generates the speed.
There's a lot of people passing right on Main Street too, so it's
Well,
kind of scary.
that's a speed bumps aren't gonna stop it.
Well, we'll slow them down, if they want to
No,
do
but-
60 over a speed bump, that's.
If you passing cars
That's their
down here in
issue.
front of
Right, but I
you,
think
people are
they'll slow
passing,
them down so they won't
people are
pass.
passing cars in front of your house. Speed bumps aren't gonna stop those people.
Well, they'll slow them down.
Right, exactly. Right, I understand your issue.
Nick had reached out to the sheriff's office more than once to see if they could get a radar in place, like say in front of Mass Driveway or River Driveway, that has a flashing blue light or whatever, but they've yet to install anything.
Right.
And Nick said that he talked to them about being on Pleasant Street more, but last week and the week before, they were still parked here a lot. They did pick up people when they were here, I'll grant them that, but they were here.
Yeah, I mean, every day I've seen ABS people pull over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stop sign, speed. Fun. Whatever. They're not gonna wear out. It's just a hassle putting them in, taking them in.
Exactly.
But
That might be the one
that's
that
time
gets small
consuming.
minutes.
It's time consuming and you work by the hour.
The thing is, it's that far in the summer now, it's almost.
Yeah, I know, but it doesn't matter. We
Yeah.
can still, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter.
Easier just go ahead and get the hot mix and plop it on the road.
Can do that too.
And, you know, by the time you buy all the hardware for those things and stuff, you're gonna have $5,000 into that or more. Go ahead and buy some hot mix, plop it in the road, throw a couple signs up.
There you go. Do that too.
And then if you don't like it, it doesn't work,
They
you're
can
gonna take it
slow
down the
down.
fall
Hey, they
anyways.
can slow down with
It'd
the
be a lot quicker to take
You know,
that
you can
out.
plow over the hot mix.
Yeah, it'd be a lot quicker to take that out in the fall than it will take in one of
They
these.
tried a few things out in this in Oklahoma City. They tried making speed dips out of the milling machine that's on like the front of a skid steer per se, and like, you know, 3 in a row. And it turns out the faster you go over them, the smoother ride it was. So that didn't work.
Yeah,
And they actually tried they actually cut up some cow mats, 8-foot cow mats, and anchored both of those down, and those worked for a little while. But you're not talking about 50 mile an hour traffic either. You know.
Maybe the hot mix is the right thing.
Yeah, possibly be.
Cold patch.
If we forget to back off after.
Huh?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that could be a good temporary solution and see how that works, and if it works, maybe
Like I
invest in
said,
a permanent
if you put the
solution.
signs up, it would be immediate.
Yeah. So try to order some signs, because they're 10 days out.
Signs?
Speed bump signs.
Yeah, get the signs and then,
I mean, we could put up we have some foam, like,
Yeah,
we could just use the construction signs for the moment until we get the speed bump.
right.
That would work.
Yeah.
So we can do something
Yeah.
immediately if we want to.
Yeah. Do the hot mix.
Yeah.
Do it.
Okay.
Cold patch, whatever you want. Pile of cold patch in the road.
Yeah.
Black. Would that work?
Probably would. Want me to find out.
Is that easier to take out with a hot mix?
We'll have to figure that out.
No, is that
Worst
easier?
case scenario, we'll have to need a jackhammer.
does that have to be taken out to plow?
Yeah.
Yes.
You
Yeah.
will be able to do that in there.
Yeah.
So when you do the hot mix, are you gonna follow the same size that those speed bumps are supposed to be according to the speed
Yeah,
limit
we'll
on the
have
road?
to, we'll just lay it out with chalk line.
So how do you do that? Do you
Lay it
have
out with
forms
chalk
or
line.
do you?
We'll lay it out with chalk line.
It's like
Yeah.
they're like 6
Just
and a
how long
half,
does it
7.
take to dry if you pile it up?
Not long, 'cause we can divert traffic around one side for an hour maybe.
You just go down there, put that in the road, go over it with a compactor,
Yeah,
ready to go.
yeah,
You only need about 3 inches of material in the middle, and it tapers off on the chin. Or 2 1/4.
You go up there and you grade with a grader, fall, cut you off.
yeah,
The grader will peel out.
yeah.
Back will peel out.
Right.
That's probably the best thing, yeah.
I think so.
And then the temporary signs, just put
Yeah,
danger. Get some of your work signs and put them in. And we know somebody that will keep track of the results. It's like,
You think?
I think.
I mean, it's not, it's just really dangerous. I mean,
Yeah.
for the people that live on Pleasant Street, it really, and it's not even just Pleasant Street, on Main Street, we had this accident here the other day where that car rolled over here on the corner because it was going too fast.
Really?
Off Main Street, oh yeah.
Coming onto Bridge Street?
Yeah, it rolled over and rolled over Terry Bergeron's fence, landing on Heidi's mound system. Because they were going too fast, 2 guys from work. And they were in a hurry to get home, I was told.
Yeah.
He didn't make it very far.
Jeez.
So, but I mean, they're speeding up down here on Main Street, they're doing Pleasant Street, I mean, it's all over.
Yeah.
But it's like, there's so many close calls on Pleasant Street, it's not, now this over here. So if they had completely stopped at the stop sign or
What
at
time of day
speed,
was that?
8 o'clock.
In the
Friday
morning.
Oh,
Friday morning, after 7:15, because I went to work and it wasn't
they're
there.
going this way.
No, they were coming home from the mill.
Right, coming home from the mill.
Oh,
I'd end up on Bergeron's
So
then.
I don't know.
I don't
If
know.
they're coming that way,
They weren't
ended
doing
up on Burke
25 or
Line?
they didn't stop at the stop sign, I'll tell you that.
Wow.
How did he end up down there on that?
Yeah, I was gonna say, why didn't they end up down in the field there?
Yep, nope, they ended up on Heidi's lawn. Railroad Terry's fence and on Heidi's lawn,
Quit driving.
out for a joyride.
He did.
Yeah, no kidding.
Fall asleep?
No,
Something about popping the clutch and giving it too much gas going into the
he was in a
corner.
hurry to get home. He was trying to meet his friend home.
Oh,
I think he lost.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
think he got home as fast as he
So it's
wanted.
just like anything to prevent something would be awesome. I mean, speed bumps on Main Street even, before the stop sign, right before you come up onto it, maybe just to slow them down, so maybe, hey, they will stop here. for a
Yeah, maybe
change.
when it, like as you're coming down the hill, passing, Sheldon Woods,
Right,
it slows down, you're supposed to slow down.
right.
Well, the ones they put on Water Tower Road, they took them out, they never put them back this year.
No, because the guy witched a lot, and the trucks were being really,
Yeah. Well, you think they're,
obnoxious.
yeah, you think they're gonna be easy on,
They already, when I talked to the guy in Enosburg,
someone have to drive over those two every day, you know?
yeah, and he said expect a lot of, you can expect a lot of stuff for about 2 weeks and it finally dies. He said, and you can expect complaints or people witching
well, it will.
about him, I don't care.
Well, if they're right in front of your house, it would be. But they're up by the farm,
Right.
there's no one up there.
Right, and then you need to put one somewhere because when they come around that corner by Dunedin's Cranes, I mean, they just fly. As soon as they get the corner, they think it's a free-for-all. And that's where they pass, it right in front of Matt's and my house, they pass each other right there.
Yeah.
So,
You put one there, so do you think it's, traffic's faster coming down the hill?
it's both
Typically.
ways, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
It's both ways. Usually, when they come from the corner, if they come upon a car, they have to pass it right between Matt's and my house.
In the morning, it's faster coming down the hill, and at night, it's faster
Right.
going up.
Right,
Yeah.
Because that's where people.
yeah,
Yeah.
it works
That's
both
the
ways.
racetrack you live on. It's usually faster in the morning going that
Oh,
way.
yeah.
and faster going that way. But I see they picked up a couple kids doing 100 miles an hour
Yeah.
there by Colton Road. didn't they?
Yeah, they did. Yeah, Herman got it.
Ooh.
Charlotte Hill.
Yeah, Charlotte got it.
Cool.
So when is this all gonna take place? Not that I'm anxious, but I'm anxious, because it's dangerous. What's on your agenda for this week?
Wednesday, we do it.
Wednesday?
How does that work for you, Wednesday?
So you're gonna.
Nancy will come over and do the flag work for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, you better put signs up too.
You wanna do the flagging that day for him?
I can't, I work at the library.
That's the thing though, we don't have legit, speed bump signs.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just saying, if we use the temporarily, I think.
I just don't want someone to hit the wrong way, a motorcycle or something, not going, and you'll sue the town.
Well, I think.
Do we have any construction
Frosty.
signs?
Do you have like.
Check
I can see if we could get some.
How about danger ahead bump
Check
or
with
something?
somebody and make
You
sure.
must have some
Yeah.
kind of.
Tall Enosburg, see if they've got some speed bumps on it that they're not using, that they had up on Water Tower Road.
Yeah.
And if not, you could order one.
Yeah.
That way you
Right.
don't get in trouble.
Yeah, we're gonna order.
And at least get, now at least cut,
Something up to make it.
they may have signs that they're not using from the water tower
Yeah, water tower road.
where they had the other one up there.
Either they use them on Orchard Street.
They turn them sideways in the winter, just leave them there.
No. Is that what they do?
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure we can.
Okay.
Okay.
We'll try that.
See what they do.
Perfect.
I wish it was, yeah.
Look at that quote,
Yep.
since it's on the same subject.
Right here. Alright, so we have a quote for striping the parking lot.
This one.
This one here?
And
And I asked them if they would do, if they did, stop lines and crosswalks, and they said they could do that, so I asked them to do a quote for putting three stop bars out here, a crosswalk for in front of the office, and then stop ahead markings about 250 feet ahead of each side of this intersection.
Yeah,
on the road.
that's
Yeah,
good.
I mean, it was a $600 quote, and by the time we buy stencils and paint and do it ourselves, it's gonna be all that.
Yeah,
For
well, then we can redo it.
So the bid was, or the quote was for the parking lot and a stop bar and one crosswalk, 3 stop bars, 1 crosswalk together with the parking lot, a total of $1,300.
I think the parking lot is only done once since the road was built, so it's,
Yeah, I think so. Huber had somebody that came in and did it last time. Alright, take a motion to accept this quote.
Sure.
Second on that.
Yep,
Yes.
sure.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Alright,
The state put stop bars on all the secondary roads on this 105 property.
every,
The state put a crosswalk down there at the school.
They did,
yes.
they're sure of that.
By the Edmonds building, they did one there.
And they can still use, the one on Port Front Road from the parking lot to the school parking lot.
Okay. Yeah. I didn't know it was going by from
Yeah, usually they do it a week before school starts.
You better not be a distracted driver.
go ahead. Yeah.
When we do that, Seth, we might have to move the stop sign back a little bit, just because if you put the crosswalk where the stop sign is now, they're gonna be walking into the ditch in front of McDonald's house here.
Okay.
So we might have to move the stop sign back 5 or 10 feet or something.
Yeah, just let me know when it's on the schedule.
Yeah. So, and the only thing is, I don't know if we can spray, if we can power spray this, the parking lot before they get here, just so. I don't know.
It's just that wall,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and that last.
I'll see when they're coming and try to meet better if we could get them to come on like a Saturday if they would, but,
Maybe just take
They don't
the,
take it very far.
yeah.
Okay.
alright, so we have some paperwork in front of us to, set the tax rate for this year. Let me read that. Compare it to last year's.
What's that? Oh, 25. Yeah, that's right here.
I can tell you that the education tax rate is
56
going down slightly.
56.21. That's pretty good. Or not, that's not good.
Well, we're creeping up, so we'll force that.
Wow. It's quite a, that's gone up. That's a pretty good increase there. These other increases are,
2 cents.
yeah.
Oh, it went up 10 cents from 14 to 24. From 42 cents to 52 cents.
Alright. But you're going from 52 to, you're going up 4 cents. How do we do that?
The education rate is gonna be 1.417 for homestead and 1.7703 for the non-homestead.
What was it, not homestead?
1.7703.
So that went down.
Yeah.
Last year was 184. And the homestead education rate stayed about the same.
Yeah.
So then the municipal tax rate would be 56.21. Last year was 52.54. So we're up 3.5 cents.
Last time I did it, I thought it was gonna go up just like a 1 cent, but I don't know that. The grand list update we did must have taken more value off of that.
obviously so your rate went up, but your grand list went up too. Your grand list went up to $2,733,372, so it's up $100,000 or more than that.
Oh, you know, I think the grand list that was printed there, is it the same as the year before? And in the town report there was an error in here. It's, the last, where it says municipal rate, those, yeah, so that's not.
That's 23, this is.
So
The rates are correct, the numbers are not right. Hold on.
grand list is wrong. Oh, I guess we can't change the grand list anyway, so
Whatever
it is what it is.
you did?
Yeah, I forgot there was a misprint in there. So the last year's grand list was 2,663,948.29 cents.
18,000 different. Had printed there.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
So grand list went up about, what, 100,000? 110,000?
yeah.
Calculation correct? Seems, I don't know, I'm just trying to think where 3 cents come from. Typically, we've been going up a penny, and, yeah, I don't know.
Our budgets have been going up.
Fire trucks and stuff like that.
Level funding, come on.
I don't think that's,
Fire trucks.
I was waiting for that, you know.
the amount to be raised by taxes went up, only about 64,000 compared to last year.
Yeah, the budget is,
Our budget this year is 1,400,000, or sorry, the amount to be raised by taxes this year is 1,458,631. Last year, it was 1,392,604. So, yeah, I think it's about $64,000.
so, there are penny raises. Who's it raised? I forgot what I used to know what penny was raised.
Your budget to be raised by taxes increased by $66,027.
Really? So,
But
does that take 3 cents to create 60,000?
what is your grand list number there, Steve? You said 2,733,000.
Yeah, no, 2,773,000.
72,000.
That's right. So the rate 20, yeah, that's why you're good. Yeah, okay. Pennies are raised.
$20,773.
20. Penny's gonna read 27.
Yeah,
Yeah, sorry.
Predictable, right?
Yeah, I did. Yes, you're right, I did.
So that's why you went up 3 cents, because you added 60,000.
Yes, 27,000, yes.
27,000. For one reason or another.
well, numbers look correct.
Okay. You want a motion to
Yep,
put that in order?
yep. I need a motion to accept tax rate of 56.
I'll move the question, motion.
A second on that.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Yep. Aye.
Opposed?
We were all there at town meeting, so.
Yep.
That's how we got that. When the budget was open for discussion, that's when you could cut the 3 cents.
So, what's that paper from Jerry? So I met with Jane last week, our town, as on her treasurer roles where she wanted to speak. She's looking for a little help. Her in the form of a CPA or a professional with some CPA training to help her at the end of the month, basically keep her books in order. She said she's comfortable with payroll, daily transactions, deposits, and all the other stuff, accounts payable. She's looking for someone to help her fund accounting, like journal entries, general ledger stuff, audit prep and liaison with external auditors, do some investment tracking, financial reporting, maybe quarterly reviews of reconciliations, and help with annual budget development support, and to review our federal and state filings like the 941s and the withholdings and the beamers and that kind of stuff. She's proposing something like a part-time basis, maybe 5 to 10 hours a month, depending on what you could find. She was supposed to be talking to, I don't know if she has yet, but Amanda from Fairfield.
Yeah, she's coming later this week.
Okay, and she was gonna, I told her just to ask her a lot of questions and see, what she thought in that role. There's a, whether to hire a CPA or,
Is this
something like that.
something permanent or something there to help her with the understanding of it and so she's more comfortable in her role as a treasurer and then maybe overmission?
I think some of her thought is she'd like to have somebody over her, overseeing her books. Maybe we hire a firm that does the audit and have them come quarterly and to keep things updated. And then it might be cut their time when they do their end of the year audit. I don't know if that's something.
I can talk to them about it.
Yeah, she's just trying to get some ideas, and she said she's comfortable with the day-to-day stuff, but she didn't know about maybe having some extra help there for that stuff there. So she was gonna look into it more. She just wanted to let us know that's what she's doing. That's what she's doing. She's kind of looking into it and seeing what options there and availability and
I think it's consistent with towns as they're growing, but separate the roles eventually. I don't think that's necessarily what she's looking for, but certainly trying to keep it, consistent in a way that, you've got that second party coming in, making sure it looks, just as it needs to. I know that she's had at least one person in particular come in and say that they're going to make sure that she's audited and make sure everything is, in the books the way it's supposed to be. So I think she's just looking to make sure there's second eyes on it, makes sure, she knows that she's doing it right, but if you have a second party, it can help with that, I think.
Well, I think when she ran, she was really thinking about the town clerk job list, and I think the treasurer role would have been less well expressed to her what that is. It's just the way it's been in Sheldon. Since we've had the women that we've had do the town clerk job, they've all been the treasurer as well as the town clerk. Back in the day, it was separate officers, but it's just the way Sheldon seems to have done it for 80 some odd years now. So,
Well, I think in order to make that position, a full-time position, you need to do both the jobs.
Right.
It's not, our town isn't big enough to have a full-time clerk and a full-time treasurer, I believe, but I guess it could be two separate duties, but, no, I think she's willing and capable to do that, treasurer, but she was just looking for somebody to oversee her besides just the end of the year audit. She didn't want to get to the end of the year and have these things that were overlooked.
I get it, yeah.
And that's what I told her. It's perfectly normal to do that. So she was gonna check it out. I guess get back to us and talk to a few different people.
I think she's planning to come to your next meeting today.
Yeah, it sounded like she wanted.
Well, I don't know, maybe too much stress.
Yeah, yeah.
They're in the money business.
Yeah.
Something like that, I don't know.
Yeah.
Could be tax season's almost over.
Yeah, I think League of Cities and Towns has added some staff in this area. So they have a finance specialist now.
Oh,
Yeah.
I should get her in touch with them as well.
yeah. Yep. That'd be a good place to start, though.
Maybe
Okay.
she just needs some reassurance that she's doing it correctly.
Right.
As opposed to like, oh, I should have been doing that.
Yep.
And not have to play catch up.
Yep. All right, what do we want to hit next? Animal control officer?
Yeah.
Have you heard back?
I have heard back from Adam still, and she sent in I put his application there now. But I think most of you are allowed, but it should be there somewhere.
Who is that?
Adam Regan, is interested
Okay.
in animal control officer. Thought it was in there.
I think it's in there
Where did it go?
somewhere. Good, very good.
Adam came to the last meeting we had. You guys a little bit.
You ready to go?
Seems to be.
Did you get dates from Cody as far as like when he's
I think he moved to Barry beginning of this month, so
Okay.
it's basically.
He's right in Fairfield,
He didn't
working
submit
at
a formal
Chester's.
resignation, but
On the fire department, so he's on call.
we've only had a few issues that came up since then.
And he's willing to do the job, so.
There you go. On motion, we accept his, whatever.
Application.
Yeah,
Alright, we've got a
before he.
motion to accept Adam Reagan as animal control officer. Do I get a second on that?
yeah, I second that.
Okay.
All in favor?
Yeah.
Alright, you'll give him all the paperwork necessary.
Yeah,
give him all-
I've already got it started on that. I don't know if you guys wanna set, his compensation or,
Oh,
I think we had Cody, I believe, at $21 an hour.
Seems a lot, probably.
yeah, let's
Yeah,
start
just
it
keep
out
it
like
simple.
that, see how it goes.
Okay.
If anything,
No.
anything, the mileage will be less probably if he's
Right.
local. Okay, that's that. I'll do these, I might as well get these done out of the way. What's these other minutes in here, Matt?
Oh, so those are last meeting, you guys signed, two of you signed the draft minutes.
Oh,
By mistake, and then I didn't notice that until they were halfway through the shredder, so, so if someone could please sign those, you approved them at the last meeting, but if someone could sign those.
alright, well, these are the meeting minutes from, Select Board Water Commissioner regular meeting from July 14th, 2025. Held here at the town office at 7:30 p.m. In attendance from the Select Board is Maria Davison, Stephen Dodd, Nicholas Norris, Richard Piasny. Others here were Hunter Kerouac from the Highway Department, Adam Reagan, Matt Stebbins, the Town Administrator. Jerry, you didn't get your name in this time. Alright. 7:33, I called the meeting to order and read the agenda. The board took up the grand list errors and omission certificate submitted by Assessor Justin Mason. Property values to be adjusted all relate to the former mobile home park on Laurel Drive. Richard Piasny moved to approve the errors and omission certificate, seconded by Maria, and the motion carried. Board signed the certificate. 7:37, the town had not yet received a third bid on the salt shed project. 7:38, the board signed payroll warrant 2526, accounts payable warrant 31689, and an excess weight fleet permit for Consolidated Communications. 7:40, Matt Stebbins delivered the town administrator's report. Matt reported that changes that have been made following VLCT loss control visit in April. VLCT will be conducting an appraisal of town property this week for insurance purposes. Excuse me. Town needs to renew its registry with the Federal System of Awards Management. The board agreed to a 5-year renewal. Matt discussed the recent highway projects on Bridge, Pleasant, and Hill Street, as well as 2 recent water repairs on Shawville Road and Bouchard Road. Matt is working on an update to the road ordinance and related policies. 7:55, Matt gave an update on the hazard mitigation plan. Open comment period has begun, following with which the plan will be sent on final approval by the state and FEMA. 7:59, Matt gave an update on the Mill Street Sewer Project. Final plans have been received and bid invitation should go out this month. Ideally, construction will begin this fall, but may need to be delayed to 2026 depending on contractor availability. 8:01, I read the minutes from the June 23rd meeting. Rick moved to accept the minutes as read, seconded by Maria, and the motion carried. 8:07, the meeting recessed for the board to inspect the new 2025 E1 1500 fire truck. 8:27, the meeting resumed. Adam Reagan addressed the board regarding the animal control officer position. 8:41, Nick Norris moved to enter executive session to discuss personnel, seconded by Rick, and the motion carried. Hunter Kerouac and Matt Stebbins joined the board in executive session. At 9:02, Hunter Kerouac left the meeting. In executive session, Nick moved to increase Hunter Kerouac's pay rate to $36 per hour in recognition of his water and sewer licenses. Motion was Seconded by Rick and carried with all in favor. Nick moved to exit executive session, seconded by Maria, and the motion carried. Except for the motion to raise Hunter Kerouac's wages, no other action was taken in the executive session. Board discussed personnel issues regarding Highway Department Town Administrator. 9:53, Nick moved to adjourn the meeting, seconded by Maria, and the motion carried with all in favor. Next regular meeting is Monday, July 28th at 7:30. Take a motion to accept these minutes as read.
I'll make the motion.
Second on that.
Second that.
All in favor?
Alright.
Alright,
Opposed? That's right. You got a report for us now?
Yeah, quickly here. As mentioned previously, the paving contract has been sent back to SD Ireland. The Reliant is going to be here to inspect our generators tomorrow, and so we'll look at that generator. Last month I had let you know that we need to update our registry with this system for work management. Steve signed something for me so that I can get it myself. This is something Kim and I tried to deal with last year, and I guess something we didn't. Basically, I have an account, but it's not linked to the town for some reason, so we've initiated a process that should allow us to fix that so we can renew our registry, which is important for federal grant work. And as a matter of policy, I'm going to create an account too, and once I've got the access to it, I'll put her on it as well, so we always have two people on the account.
Yep.
So that we don't have this situation again. Tomorrow I'm going to have a round table with, there's this organization called VERTA that helps with technical assistance for towns. So NRPC is hosting a little round table on that, so I'm hoping to learn about how they can help us with different projects. As I mentioned previously, we've requested quotes for the fence around the town garage. As mentioned in the minutes, the insurance appraisers were here a couple weeks ago, and that went well. I haven't heard the results of that. He's kind of going out and doing all the field work, and then when he gets back to the office later, probably now, he'll send the numbers to us so let us know what our properties were. I mentioned that there may be an insurance claim coming in about related to the highway work we did on Rice Hill. As Seth mentioned, there are some new, the items that we talked about in the last meeting we ordered for the garage, and they're planning on freshening up the office there. There were a couple of animal control issues in the interim that I have dealt with, but one of them was the animal that was kind of running around the greater East Sheldon neighborhood. But by the time I heard from several people about it, I went on to try to find a dog. By the time I did that, the dog had come back home, but I didn't talk to the owner about it. And, just let him know that I made a note of this incident. If it happens again, there might be a fine. And there was another issue that happened over in the Rice Hill neighborhood. The state police called me about that, but it turned out that it was actually in Highgate. So anyway, I'll be glad that we have on
Yep.
As I think you should see, the Historical Society is holding an event on August 9th where they're holding a community night to celebrate the opening of that second floor that they've been working on. And we're going to have a table there just sharing information about some of the current projects the town's working on, the Shawl Shed update, some other things. And they've asked that as many members as can from the select board attend that event, because I think they're inviting, local representatives to be there as well. So it's just a general night for people to meet people in their community. So I wanted to just extend that invitation to you. I did, so I sent a kind of general update to the town, to our town attorney and the school district and their attorney, just kind of rehashing the history of the school property issue, since and framing kind of what the options are right now, with the voters having rejected the plan that we put forward at town meeting. Our attorney is saying that the school district could certainly still do the improvements it wants to do to the school property down there, provided that they consult with the select board about it, the way that has always happened over the years. The long history of the town and school, doing things down there where the town paid for it, or the town and school paid for it together, or something that there was always notice and things were done with both parties knowing about it. But if it's a big issue for the school to clear up entirely all the issues related to who maintains what, who insures what, who owns what part of the property, then there are only certain ways. The select board is limited by Vermont law in how it can convey property, where it has to give notice to the community about that. And having tried to convey the property and had it voted down at town meeting as a matter of political prudence, if the select board is going to propose any other conveyance, even if it's more limited, like a lease of the property, for example, it would probably be a good idea for that to be voted on at a town meeting as well, instead of trying to post a notice and hoping somebody and inviting a petition against it, which is the alternative process for it. So I reminded the school board that those are sort of the options. We can work together, and I said, considering that the voters were pretty strongly against the conveyance as it was presented at the town meeting this year, if the school district thinks it's very important to settle out all those ownership issues, then it's in the best interest of both parties to work together on and I suggested a plan where we bring, and make a more public process where we invite public input on how we should solve the problems down there. And then assuming that you're getting through that process, you get public buy-in for it, then you'll build a plan that is much more likely to pass with the approval of the voters if we have a subsequent town meeting on it. So I laid all that out, and the school board seemed receptive to that. I reminded them that we could work together on a more conveyance, or we could go through a more robust planning process to come up with a thing that settles all of the issues, but it would have to take investment from both the school and the town, because I think part of the reason why it was not well received at the town meeting was because the school board wasn't really there to answer questions fully about it. So
Probably wasn't presentation of it. I don't think people really understood
right,
very well.
and I think it would have
I
helped.
think, and then also there was
At the time when Montpelier was talking.
Montpelier was
Consolidation
school
stuff.
control and what going on with that. I think the general public might be more receptive to the idea if it's presented a little differently.
So I suggested to the school, I said, if you want to invest in a process like that where you take public comment on it, the town would work on that, and I commission or the regional planning could maybe help us with that. But also, if we could, on a more limited basis, we could probably work out a lease agreement or something like that. It would be a more conditional conveyance of the property as well. So I basically put it in their hands to ask them what they would like to do on that. So I haven't heard back from them specifically on it, but that's what we're working on. I did some work on, as I mentioned, on reviewing the road ordinance, speed ordinance as it is. I don't have this completed for you because my understanding is that for road ordinances, the speed ordinances to need to be based on a speed study of some sort. And I guess I'm going to have to need your help on identifying areas you might like to see more, because looking at the speed regulations here, there are a number of town highways that do have speed regulations on, but there are quite a few more that we have nothing on. Most of these have posted speed limits, but they're not listed in the ordinance currently. But as I mentioned, you are supposed to have a speed study done before you list the speed limits on an ordinance. So I may.
What qualifies as a speed study?
That's a good question.
Okay.
So when they did
I'm gonna have to pay
when they
you.
did it on Pleasant Street, the sheriff department was involved.
Right, yeah, so I think in general, I'm not sure that, I think the sheriff department can do those, regional planning can do them. I think in general, you just have to collect a certain amount of data on what the road speeds are now, and then you're supposed to.
Seems like we did work with regional planning.
It seems like, I think you did,
And
it's just there seemed to be
they were
some.
supposed to have gone around and did all the roads, but apparently they forgot a few.
Yeah, that's, so I think most specifically, on this current ordinance, I do not see listed a couple of our class 2 roads that I think really should be on there. So for example, the Kane Road and Woods Hill Road are not listed on here currently. And then there are some other roads that we could, there, like I said, there's quite a few, more than half the roads in the town are not on this list. So,
We went through and we put all them,
I remember when Bob, sheriff, he
went through and did all a whole bunch of roads.
yeah.
I don't know why those ones got done. I mean,
I don't know either. I'm just going by what I read.
that's what the ordinance says that we signed.
From the copy that I have, yes.
That's what we signed, the ordinance. Yeah.
Yeah. December 2016. When you signed it.
Oh,
So,
we got regional plan to come back and clean up the mess.
yeah, so,
And document, go around and find out the roads here that don't have signs on them.
right.
And, I'll give something for Seth to do.
Okay.
Find that.
Job's great.
Yeah, the other thing that I think it would be worthwhile to do while we're doing this, is that, League of Cities and Towns recently came out with a new model ordinance for a parking ordinance. Our traffic ordinance contains the parking regulations in Sheldon, but there's nothing in this ordinance about, a traffic ticket would be written by a police officer, but the town could appoint me or someone else to issue parking tickets if you wanted to. But if you do that, then the parking ordinance needs to have the procedure in it for how someone would contest a parking ticket. And the current ordinance doesn't have that, so anyway, if we revamp the traffic ordinance, I think it would be prudent to adopt a separate parking ordinance. There are some other issues in the parking ordinance that I think it could be a little clearer. For example, the town turnarounds, you have to kind of look at this regulation in a certain way to understand how it would apply to a town turnaround. I think it can be much more explicit that there's no parking in cul-de-sacs, turnarounds, etc.
Yeah, put up no parking signs
Right,
in those designated areas.
that's right.
But then you have an ordinance for the sign. Okay.
Yeah.
Agreed.
So, yeah. And finally, something I'm gonna ask I know the planning commission looked at it already, but one issue that I found is that I think traditionally what we've been doing in Sheldon is when somebody creates a private road, or if a driveway adds a third house onto it and it becomes a private road, the people who own the road have come in and asked you, suggested a name for the road for you. And I think the town has just put up a road sign for that road. But there's nowhere that is codified that that's our policy, or whose responsibility it is if the road sign, is stolen, gets smashed. Who's responsible for that?
You're talking about roads that have more than
Private drives.
private drives that qualify for 911.
Correct. Yeah. So I don't see that that's well defined in either the E911 ordinance or our development bylaws as a specific issue. And it's just the thing that happens to have come up this year, where last year we approved 2 new roads, and I didn't even think about it. I guess we should have ordered signs for that, but as I said, as a matter of what we've always done, it seems like that's what the town's policy has been, but it might be a good idea for the town to make that explicit in some way.
Well, the developer names the road.
It's more about who bears the cost of putting up and maintaining those signs. Because I know that, for example, some towns do have policies where it's the road owners, the landowners.
It's not a town highway, it's not a.
Right, it's the landowner's responsibility. The town will come do the work, but the town landowners have to pay the town for doing it. They have policies like that.
Okay.
So just and then similarly, the town does not have a explicit policy about how we maintain class 4 roads, and some towns do have a policy.
No, we do.
I do not find it anywhere, so I don't know. If we do have one, then I don't know where it is. So.
Yeah, but isn't I want to say there's a state guideline.
Right.
There's a state statute says what class 4 is just needs to be passable.
Yes, and I think in general most towns define it as this. The town does not have any responsibility to maintain it in every season. They may maintain it one season a year or something like that. Yeah, anything class 2 and 3 have to remain passable in all seasons, and class 4 is anything that isn't a class 3 road.
Yeah.
Right. Anyway, some towns make it more explicit when and what they will do and how they will.
So you'd like us to work on a definition?
It's an option that you can consider just while I was going through all these related topics. Anyway, and then the final thing is that Nick had asked me to review. So I talked to the town clerk we had talked about possibly doing away with the time clock that we have, the manual time clock that we have, and coming up with doing a different system of time tracking. I had looked at a software that works with QuickBooks, and the clerk had said that she was interested in possibly using QuickBooks for some things instead of Nemrick, but she concluded that we would still have to pay for Nemrick even if we weren't using it for all the things we used it for. And of the modules that Nemrick offers payroll's not the most annoying one to her, and so she thought it wasn't going to be worth it. So that not being the best option anymore, there are a couple of apps that I've looked at that I think we can recommend that would be, at least to begin with, would be free, and depending on which modules we wanted to use, there might be some cost to it, but I think for the basic, to replace the basic functions of the clock that we have, it would be free, but it would also allow for Seth, for example, if he came down from Franklin in the winter to check the roads, you could clock in on your phone as soon as you cross the border in Sheldon, and you wouldn't have to drive all the way to the garage just to clock in and then you could go check the roads and clock out on your way home, and so that would save you some time in that situation, and also make it more efficient for you. So it would require at least have the regular workers have everybody put it on, have the app on their phone. There would be a desktop application that Jane could use to gather all that information, and then
It's that much handier than a time clock.
well,
I mean, how much hassle is a time clock? I mean, most of the guys go to the garage before they start working, and try to get into the town equipment. I mean, it would be for you checking roads, but
But this is what, a free system?
yes. To I mean, that depends on what you're using.
yeah, I was gonna say, nothing's free.
But I think the basic functions of it, in terms of like clock into work, and I think the GPS function on it, in terms of being able to say where you are when you're clocking in, that's free. But then in terms of the administration of it, there are some other elements of it that we could use that we could pay for. But I think we would probably keep it pretty basic to begin with.
Yeah, because you can get one that tells you where you're at, like where are you at, like if you're on the Shawville Road, you can put 10 o'clock Shawville Road culvert.
Correct.
You know, they can tell where you are, you could clock it in, because that's what Norman does for WEI. Every time he goes to there, he puts in 10 o'clock, load the gravel to blah, blah, blah. Or from this farm, I hear from 9 to 10, and then.
And that would work for, you could do, I mean, they do the same thing on their time sheets right now, but if they, we're working on the highway and we get a call, there's a water leak, you can clock out of, you're working for the highway and clock in as the water sewer, and then, time track what your specific tasks you're doing, things like that. But again, we tend to do that on paper already, it's just, we've got to remember at the end of the day, oh yeah, we switched from doing this to doing that, and we worked there for a couple of hours. So,
I think you worth some more discussion, or if you did it on a trial basis, I wouldn't stop clocking in on it.
okay, yeah, we could try it on a trial basis in parallel with their time.
In parallel,
For a 3-month trial or something, and see.
well, you're running 2 times, but I don't know, depends on how the employees.
I think, I don't know about Seth, but I think the other 2 guys they've had experience with the thing like that's a very similar system. I don't know
Okay.
what it is, but I think they both, I don't know what the system, the city uses some system like this, and I think Matt's previous employer did too, but I think in both, I don't know about the city, but I think there are some of these things where they have a clock and they do the payroll for you. So they sell you the app and they do all the payroll for you, and I think that's what Matt's used to also, and then, again, there are other features of it where we could show them like how much time they would, but they get all this information on their paycheck now, but they could have it as an app on their phone that would show them, how much you've got for comp time, how much you've got for sick leave, et cetera, et cetera. But again, those are maybe modules that the town would have to pay for, so we probably wouldn't do that, certainly, sure. Anyway, we could certainly try to do that on a trial basis and see how it works, and if we're more comfortable with it. Yeah. Okay. All right, that's it.
Okay.
Is she gonna get, is Jane gonna get back to the treasurer and her, the CPA part-time basis, is she gonna get a quote on this?
Well, she was gonna talk to some different people and see,
Come back with some numbers for the
go
board?
back with some numbers,
Yeah. Cause it, yeah. Okay.
And she even said maybe just a second set of eyes that's more qualified than her, like, somebody like caliber, like, Abby Miller or something.
Maybe she's doing a better job than she thinks.
Yeah,
Maybe, but she's not sure,
that might be a lot, it's a confidence.
Wants to be on thicker ice.
Yeah, it's just, confidence of making sure she's getting it done right.
Mm-hmm. Or maybe she, I don't know, you could send her, maybe there's classes that she could take or whatever, maybe she would feel more comfortable with some classes or something
Yep,
in that.
more training.
In that. Any of those things.
Yep. On that, hazard mitigation closeout there, do we have that contract?
Yeah, it should be there, so right there, that's it. So it's just a very small, so that's the printout of the plan, it's just that copy. It's a very small amendment at the end, because, the plan has been, through the comment period, it's now submitted to FEMA, emergency management. And, just because the grant is gonna run out in September, to facilitate the closeout process, Stephanie is gonna issue a invoice for the town to pay now, even though she's still gonna be working on it as it goes through she's still, basically the amendment says, we're gonna pay her for the contract, but I think it should be the very last paragraph.
Yeah.
So it basically is stipulating that even though, she's gonna be paid for all the work that she's done, she is going to remain in the service of the town until the grant is complete, not just even after Seam Solutions has been paid. That's my interpretation. So it's just an amendment to the contract to say that they're going to fill it even after they've been paid.
Okay, do we need a motion for this?
I think so, yes.
Okay. Alright, I'll take a motion to accept this, contract, with the amendment at the end. It's the same contract, it's just that amendment that says that,
Sure.
she'll complete her work, whether she's paid or not.
Yeah.
Okay. All in favor?
Yeah.
Opposed?
Mill Street, so
Yeah, I unfortunately still have not heard from Robert Clark about the sewer, so I sent him an email after our last meeting, and I gave him a call on the phone last week and then again today, and haven't heard back from him. So, as far as I know, it's all ready to go, and we're supposed to, in terms of just announcing a bid and getting ready to go, so I don't know what happened there, if he on vacation or something, or I don't know.
could be.
So I will try to get in touch with him here as soon as I can.
Okay. Alright, that it for tonight?
I think so.
Just got one thing, Matt, can you make sure that Jane updates Hunter's pay?
Yes, yeah.
That is,
Yeah.
it's not correct in the,
Oh, okay. Well,
for the checks.
so the last time, I didn't know if you wanted to approve that, like, for the pay period he was working, because our meeting was in the middle of a pay period, so I didn't know if it was supposed to take, I guess I should have clarified if that was supposed to take effect
I just figured it was
immediately.
2 weeks already,
Right.
since our last meeting, that's what I based that off of.
Right, so your meeting was on one Monday, and the next Monday, the payroll went out, so I didn't know that. So, on this current payroll that will be paid next Monday, it should be,
And what we just signed tonight, no.
but that's for last week's payroll, I believe.
Well, it's still 721.
Oh, okay, well, that's my fault then, okay. I will, follow up with Jane on that.
And do we have to do something as far as voting to have the road commissioner, or, cause I thought we had, assigned that.
Do we,
So, that is the road commissioner is an office that, I mean, I think it can be elected or appointed. In general, it's been appointed historically in Sheldon, and I don't recall there being a formal vote on that at any of the meetings. Nick volunteered to take on that role, but it sounded like he wanted that to be a more official capacity. But as far as I know, there was no formal motion nominating him or electing him for that, so
Is that what he'd like?
I think so, yes. So,
And it's,
that's why I put it on.
and it's just he's like a designated select person to address the road.
That's what I understood, or?
Yes.
Basically,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
yep.
Okay,
Alright.
I'll move that we make Nick the road commissioner.
Okay, I have a second on that.
Yeah,
All
second.
in favor?
All the way there, he's got another job with no pay.
There you go.
He volunteered.
He can work on the pay, right?
He works well anyway, so he's also.
Yeah, there you go. But
Alright, any other business? Motion to adjourn for the evening then?
you know, make a motion?
Alright, second that.
Second.
All in favor?
Yep.
Okay, Jerry, we're all set.